How does someone go from Christian conspiracy theorist to skeptic atheist? It's a story time. I used to believe in everything from ghosts to gods to ghouls to anything supernatural that kind of sparked my fancy. I believed it. The reasonings for those beliefs varied from having a little bit of evidence to having literally zero evidence, and it just sounded cool, so I believed it. And with my comeback to YouTube on the horizon, I figured I should probably break down who I am, what I do, and where I've been the past 3 years. Well, my name is Calvin Smith. I'm located in Southeast Michigan, and I typically go by UnquestionableCalvin. We'll get into that. Before we get into anything, everyone needs to know that this is a safe space for if you're trans or queer, atheist, agnostic, even if you're a Christian, anybody of any walk of life is welcome here on this channel. And yes, I did say even the believers in religion are welcome here. So for all of those watching, as an American, a human, and a pansexual man here in America, I fully support everybody in who they are and who they want to be, and I will defend you to my dying day. Great, now that that's out of the way, on to the story of me. Some of you may know me from my old podcast I used to do, Unquestionable with Calvin Smith, with most of the episodes still being available here on YouTube, with all of the episodes being available on Spotify. In my show, I talked to people about what they believed and why they believed it. Everything from people who believed in aliens to people who believed they could channel aliens, to flat earthers, to Christians, to Satanists, to ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, and everybody in between. If you had a deeply held belief that was influencing decisions that you were making in your life, I wanted to talk about it. Because if these people are believing in something that they think is true, I want to believe it too. I want to know as many true things as possible. And it's thanks to this show, from me putting myself out there to start the show to begin with, that I brought myself out of these deeply held beliefs that were borderline dangerous. So what did I believe exactly? As I stated before, conspiracies and religion, of course. So I don't come from a very heavily religious background. A lot of my background does come from conspiratorial and other supernatural or paranormal beliefs. But we did regularly attend a church until I was, I don't know, probably 6 or maybe 7 or 8 years old. And then my mom, just being a single mom, couldn't take us to church as often as she wanted to, so that just kind of got put on the back burner. And I like to call it a lot of finger waving, like, hey, Jesus is watching, watch what you're doing. And it wasn't until my late teens that I started to really question what God I might believe in, or what deity in general I might believe in. All the while, still believing in things like the earth being hollow and reptilian aliens running the government. It wasn't until my early 20s that I decided that I wanted to get a handle on what I believed as far as a god or a religion or a prophet goes. So I thought, what better way to understand what I believe than to just pick up the instruction manual for the thing that I apparently might believe in and read it. So I picked up a Bible, I read it from cover to cover, wasn't sure if I necessarily didn't believe that this God existed. I just wasn't a big fan of the things that he was saying and doing and condoning. So then I picked up the Bible again, and then I read the Bible a second time in a different translation. And that is this Bible that you're seeing here. The first one that I read was a King James translation. By the end of my second read through, I was definitely an atheist. In fact, I was identifying as an atheist before I even hit the New Testament of my second read through. But I didn't stop there. I made sure to read other religious doctrines that were claiming to be the truth, like the Quran, the Bhagavad Gita, the Book of Mormon, and I'm currently kind of in the middle of the Book of Mormon still, and the Talmud. And needless to say, by the end of all of these read-throughs of these religious doctrines, I just wasn't convinced. I didn't see the evidence or even the good reason to warrant me believing in these things. So once I deconstructed from Christianity, realized I was an atheist, I still was deeply into these conspiracy theories, like I said, like hollow earth and reptilians running the government. But thanks to the Bible, funny enough, I actually learned how to question these things better, how to look for unbiased sources, and how to actually research the things that the Bible and other things were claiming. So you can literally thank the Bible that I'm an atheist and a skeptic. Going back to my show, Unquestionable with Calvin Smith, you actually can listen to my deconstruction process in every episode. From episode 1 to episode 44-ish, 44, 45, you can actually hear my deconstruction through all of those episodes. Because as I was talking to these people who had the same beliefs that I did, I realized as they were echoing those things back to me, how crazy they actually sounded. And then I realized, wait, that's what I'm saying. Why don't I think that I'm crazy? Well, I was. I was fucking crazy. And here I am nearly a decade later, an atheist and a non-conspiracy theorist. And now I talk to other people about why they do believe in religions or conspiracies. Well, by the way, you might also know me from the Atheist Community of Austin shows. I was on Truth Wanted more than a couple times. Or maybe you know me from my very viral videos that have populated the internet of me doing street epistemology. So what's the point? What's the point of doing all this? What's the point of refiring up my YouTube channel, of continuing to do this day in and day out, teach Christians what their Bible says, teach Muslims what their Quran says? What is the point of all of this? Well, because truth matters. Because I think that truth matters. And in fact, it's not even about my opinion. It's a demonstrable fact. Truth matters. And believing in true things matters. Those who can be convinced of falsities can also commit atrocities. Let me clarify that there's good and bad on both sides, both the religious side and the non-religious side. But let's be honest, Christianity and other religions have not painted a very good picture for themselves over the last couple centuries. And if people are using this belief in an invisible magic man in the sky whom they are not able to demonstrate actually exists to begin with, if they are using that belief to influence who they vote into office, how they treat other people, etc., then that matters. And that's why I want to continue doing this, because people do use their belief in an invisible magic man in the sky to commit atrocities because they are convinced of falsities. What are some things that you can plan to see here on my brand new revamped YouTube channel? Well, you can look forward to live debates. I've got a pretty hefty following over on TikTok and Instagram, and typically I do live streams only on those two platforms, where I will post those up here on YouTube for you guys to watch and interact with. But if you want to catch them in the moment, gotta follow me over there, at least for now. Maybe some explanation videos, maybe breaking down some conspiracy theories I used to believe in and why I don't believe in them anymore. One-on-one pre-recorded debates with theists, formal debates. And heck, you might catch me playing some music or video games here and there, because after all, I am a human and I like to play music and video games. Hey, I mentioned music, which means I have to plug in my original music. You can find Calvin Smith on Spotify and all other streaming platforms. I do only have one song out as of the recording of this video, but I have plenty of songs written, ready to go. I just need to, get that extra help to get those songs recorded. So if you know anyone who can help, hit me up. But hey guys, thanks for watching the video. My name is UnquestionableCalvin. Make sure to drop a comment and a like on this video, and of course subscribe to my channel because I have tons of fun stuff coming. If anyone would like to reach out to me for any reason, whether it's to set up a debate or just ask me a question, you can find all the links to everything that I do in all of my bios across all of social medias. Thanks again. See you next time.